Hello and good morning, welcome back to the channel everybody. And as you can see here, straight into it, Grammostola Pulchripes or Pulchripes, however you want to say it. And this is a mature male. I got this male from Ellie's Bug Babies, so I'll put a little picture on the screen there, so on YouTube, so you can go and check out her channel. And please subscribe to her channel, she's got some great videos on there, some new content coming out. But she sent this one to me. And as you can see, he's a very good size. If any of you remember that watched my previous videos last year, I did try and pair this female. I'll put an annotation at the top of the screen there. But unfortunately, she's so aggressive and was so fast, she actually killed the last male, and it was quite graphic. So if you've got a bit of you're not too squeamish and you don't mind a bit of tarantula blood everywhere, go check that one out. But I couldn't intervene. I explained it all in that video, but this one seems a lot more confident, a lot bigger, and he's just trying to entice her out, which I think he's going to do in a second. Okay, so I had to cut that again. He wandered off and he was just going all around the enclosure without actually picking up on her, but now you can see he's drumming quite well. But I think he's about to start wandering off again, but he will bring her out in a second. She's in this coconut husk. Cocoa fibre. This is no topsoil in this one, just dry cocoa fibre. She likes it completely dry and she just stays in there. I think last year for about 6 months of the year she webbed up the door, didn't even come out, wouldn't eat at all. Then she molted, put her molt in her door, and I've took it away and she's ready to obviously be paired. But this one, she's either full on or she doesn't want to know. So as you can see here, he's slightly drumming. This is a bit more time gone, and I think this actually was another day. I put him back in. I couldn't remember because I forgot to put the notes on here. But he's drumming away, and I think he's got her attention, so we'll see if she comes out. Here we go. So this was about another 20 minutes later, and he's managed to get her into a position. She's got massive fangs. I've got straw there ready just in case, because I'm not having another one die. And I know a lot more what I'm doing now than I did then. I've got to react a lot more quicker. But I can see that he's got his right hand and bow lies straight in there, so he's done the deed. I couldn't see the left go in. So I think in total I've paired these now about 4 times. After this pairing, this took quite a while for the afternoon of the day that I'd done it on. But then she retreated back into her cave, her burrow, and just went dormant, just stayed there. And you know when you get a very good pairing, because the male tarantula will start cleaning his emboli at the end of the tips, which I've seen him do. But also, for those of you that have bred, and I've seen this in your females, the female does a weird sort of abdomen shake, which we've seen in a few, which is a definite insertion that I've seen on these tarantulas. Then they do like a euphoric shake, or they rub their parts, and it's just different. So I've noticed it only happens on the ones that actually do get a good insertion, so it is very good. So let me know in the comments if you've seen that before. So I'm there with the straw just in case, because she kept putting her fangs out and spreading them wide like she was going to strike the last time, and Lucy and I are there ready. We're not having this go ahead. But as you can see, the male, he's lifted up the front, he's got his legs pinned back on her, so I think even if she wanted to strike down, she couldn't. And this one's not showing any signs of being nervous. He's just in there, it's calm. Look, she's just frozen, and he's just inserting both. He's got both of them in on that time, so she's very good. But she could turn around at any moment and just decide to sink her fangs in, which I don't want. I think he's coming away now, look there. So she's pulled back, which she didn't do on that last video. She just immediately killed him. But the last male didn't even shake, didn't do anything, even though he was on her web so he could pick up the pheromones, just didn't have a clue what to do. This male's a good size, knows what he's doing, and there you go. Look, so I'll get him back in his tub to get him out of the way, but he wants more action, but not for today. Beautiful coloration on him. But she's in like that euphoric state, and she started to do this weird shake after this video. But there we go. So a couple of weeks later, I had to leave them, feed them, and then try to pair them again. And she was way more keen on this one, so I literally just put them in, closed the door because he freaked out with the ambient noise going around. So getting ready to open the door up here. Hopefully it doesn't move or make too much noise. It squeaked there obviously, and it made them stop in their tracks. But there you go, you could see her fangs are not fully open, but she's hung them out, and you can see her mouth parts with a little white bit in the center and the red all around it. So it's a very, very good visual shot, this one. But then again, I think just because I opened it, I made them pause, but I think they'll start up again in a second. But I think you'll agree this is just a beautiful species. If any of you have paired this one successfully, I would appreciate some comments below on the eggs, of like how long it took yours to eggs with legs, how many did you get in your sack, stuff like that, because we're trying to learn and find out. Each tarantula is different, like some have only a few hundred, some have less than that, but then it also depends on the size of the female, what stage she is in her lifespan. If she's bigger, bulkier, then she could handle more. So I'm still trying to learn that, but I don't know roughly the basis for this one. I've heard it can be 300 to 500, somewhere around there, so if people can let me know, that would be absolutely amazing. But here we go again, I'm trying to get a visual look of the emboli going in, but you can understand why I'm a little bit more happy with this now, with the female, the way she went from that previous video. If you do check that out and see how aggressive she was, that previous male, as I said before, didn't do any dancing, and this one, as soon as he was on the web, picked up her pheromones straight away. And you can see clearly he knows what he's doing. But look at the colours of these. On the female, the gold just seems a bit more vibrant, but they are beautiful. The hairy, I love the black on the gold, the stripes down the knee, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, so he's just going to back off there. I think I had to cut quite a few times. They sit around for quite a while, but then as you can see there, he starts drumming again and then gets her to initiate again. But this is the only bit I didn't like, is when she comes out with her fangs. Because of the previous one, I kept thinking, God, she was going to take him again. But a bit more time went past, they just sat there, and you can see he's starting to do exactly the same again. I am there above the shot with my straw and tools. You just can't see that, but I am directly above her head. Just in case she decides to make a lunge. But this has been a couple of pairings now over a good few weeks, and she's not once shown aggression. She opens up her fangs very, very wide, but I have seen other species do this. So I'm not sure if that is a threat, or what we hear about the females always taking the males. From my experience now, it's not always. It depends as well on how much you fed the female. If she's not plump enough beforehand, she more than likely will try to take them. But she's well fed, you'll see if she does come out, you can see the abdomen, she's plump, and she's got no intention of trying to kill this one. So I want to keep him alive, but you can see that he's doing his little tap in. Takes him a little bit of time, and then he moves up from the tap into some shaking, which you can see him doing here. And after a while, if she doesn't proceed towards him, he will do like a little mock lunge or something like that, and then that initiates her to start engaging with him. But I am so over the moon with this one. If this does work and gets a successful pairing, because she molted a few months back, then we'll get a sack from these. But as I said before, if anyone can let us know in the comments, whoever's had sacks of these before, how many eggs you do actually have, because online I have seen different amounts of figures and numbers. So I'd just like to get a general idea, because she has got a plump abdomen, so I reckon she'll do a large or a good sack. But let's see if they're about to come back in and have another final pairing together. But I think you'll agree that there's not one bit of aggression from her. And in the last one, you could see that she sat there really chilled, and the male spider put, well, you can see the fangs out, put one foot on her head, and she just ate him. But here, none of that at all. This male knows what he's doing, and he's going in again for another good pairing. I think with this here, I was looking off the camera, so I didn't realise that it was, you know, he was lifting her up off camera. But I think I'll get it back in a second. I was just trying to watch that the fangs didn't plunge down, so I had the straw literally right in front of her face, just to make sure that if she went to take, I could see if I could block them off. But you can see here, he's proper pushing her back up. He's making sure he gets her in the position that he wants her in. Yeah, you can see he's doing this. Now I did at the time, I was looking off camera and I was making sure he got a good insertion. So I know this is a definite one, because a couple of the others I wasn't too sure because she was a bit more lower, but this time round he got her high. But I moved the camera now because I realised that you couldn't really see it at the top, so it'll come back in. So sorry about that, sorry about the jumpy camera movements. But I just wanted to clarify myself, so I think this is the best chance I've had of this one. But I've heard as well that the Grammostolas, quite a lot of my species, within 2 months of being paired, they drop. but I've heard that Grammostolas can hold it quite a long time. The only other one I've got like that is a Tilica alboplossum, which gets paired and then drops a sack 6 months later, but normally all my others are quite quick. I've had a Dichromatitis as well that did it within about 4 weeks, but there you go, you can see that he's actually finished, she's retreated, and now he's walking, so I'm going to put him back in his enclosure. But this is the definite one, so, and as I said before, some of the females do act a little bit different afterwards, but there we go. So I'm just going to show you that I've got him out, so he's all safe. But you can see here he's a really good size. So, and he's really calm, this one. No aggression at all from him. He just sometimes doesn't like being pushed into a direction, gets a little bit stubborn, but I just wanted to make sure I kept him out of the way of her and that he didn't walk on her now when they've completed, so then her brain snaps to feed mode. But I have had her plump and fed up, so she shouldn't do that. So get him out nicely. And that should be it for now. I will try and pair them again, but I hope this male goes quite strong. You can see he's very, very plump. So he was looked after really, really well. So we got him all back in there. And just like to say thanks very much for watching on that, and I'll keep you updated with the egg sack. But I'll give a quick little close-up of her here. Sorry for the shaky camera. And a big well done to her. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.